Whoa, is this Tina in the present moment? Yeah. Ah, she finally makes videos on time. Let's give her claps. Thanks. Anyways, I just wanted to check in this present moment and let you guys know, have a little disclaimer. The things that you guys are about to see in this video, obviously I edited it and obviously it's clean now. But when I was doing this full rant and I was watching myself talk, I was like not okay. I really was like mentally, emotionally disturbed. Like I was going through a moment, like in the depths of just trying to figure something out. And that was a tough process to watch. It's part of the process. It was what I needed at the time to get to the understanding that I have now, where I'm clear and I gain clarity and I am lucid. The things that I was saying and the things that I was seeing and the way that I understood anything was very murky. But I think that it felt like layers of an onion where I had to peel it. Ew, I don't like onions. Let's do tangerines, they're nice. I had to go through the layers of like this solid thought, this cemented truth that I thought that I had, which wasn't true. And I needed to start picking at it in order to finally get to truth, or just truth as I know it right now, with the most clarity, where I am most level-headed. The next set of videos that I'm going to make, it is going to be a tough one to watch. And I want to put a trigger warning out there because I start talking about my relationships that I have with narcissists. And I start talking more about mental illness and starting to understand more of my mental illness. This video will be triggering for those who have not done the work to be self-aware of their mental, emotional state, especially when it isn't healthy. It will reveal things about the ego that you yourself might have been hiding from yourself in order to feel safe and protected. It talks a lot about the fears that I used to have and the fears that I used to think as truth, and me settling with my fears, compromising with my fears in order for me to be okay with the past relationships that I had. And now that I'm able to look back at these videos, I understand there's more truth to be found, and there is more that I deserve and more that I was not willing to ask for. I'm just really surprised that I said all of that with clear consciousness. Like, that was beautiful, by the way. Thanks to myself. But if you guys do not know what DID is, dissociative identity disorder, this is what I'm figuring out in these next few videos. And I don't think I'm gonna go into all of it right now, but I will talk about it later on after the videos come out, because whatever the fuck. I just want you guys to use your discernment, and I want you guys to really analyze the way that I'm speaking, how I perceive myself, and the perspective that I talk about when I talk about myself. This is a really hard video for me to watch and even edit and post, because I realized how disconnected I was from myself, and it put me in a state of fear when I was first editing these couple videos. But if these videos trigger you, and then the thing that follows after is fear, just remember, fear is just telling you there's something worth protecting, and what's worth protecting is you. In these videos, I started talking about how I demonize the ego, just seeing a part of yourself as against you. I hope that you guys enjoy these next set of videos, because I enjoyed looking at them and seeing the process, and it's really interesting to analyze myself and the way that I used to think and the process that it took to gain clarity now. Okay, thank you. I also dyed my hair. I dyed my hair a new color. If you guys are fucking with it. If not, it doesn't matter because I fuck with it. Oh, this is a weird beginning. Okay. I haven't made a video in a month, if I have to be very fucking honest. But here I am. Okay, I try to make this video and I try to put it on TikTok because TikTok is my new platform for like quick ideas and whatever. But I've been realizing my videos are becoming a lot more intense, and every time I keep trying to take a shortcut, it does not work, which sounds so obvious. But okay, I wrote this today at 4:34 a.m. It says, stay true and be in your power. Solve the mystery of your suffering. On the other side, you will see the big picture, not the little trees of suffering. Do not dismiss Do not diminish them by calling them little, because no one likes to diminish their suffering. Integrate your wounds. You are a force to be reckoned with. Goddess Isis. I don't know, like, thank you, but Goddess Isis has been coming to me a lot recently. I appreciate her. She's been great, so if you feel called to know more about her, then you can search her up. I mean, I've just been flowing with the universe, learning how to be more soft with myself, learning how to be more compassionate, loving, kind. Like, you guys know I'm always on this journey of trying to understand more about myself, and then offering myself understanding. I've had tendencies in the past to be a very controlling, perfectionist, judgmental person, but now I'm trying to be more soft with myself and return to unconditional love. So this is where I'm at in my life right now. And I wanted to share a story with something that I experienced recently when it comes to unlocking new layers of yourself. And also, this is a cool story about the ways that the universe can talk to you. I'm gonna read this thing that I wrote, all right? On my way to school, I was driving in my Toyota RAV4 2016 XLE Maroon, and this line came in my head. The line came in my head: what you recognize in other people is what you recognize in yourself. You attract the people that mirror something within yourself. In a different part of this video, I will explain why this line is actually true. Maybe not even this video, because I just no. Okay, not in this video. But I'll explain why this line is actually true. But first, let me explain to you guys why this line is commonly misused, okay? Especially when you're looking at a relationship, observing a lover and a narcissist. Do I have to give a trigger warning to this? I don't know. I'm triggered when I talk about this stuff, so maybe that's why. Back to my Toyota RAV4 2016 XLE Maroon, I began experimenting with this philosophy. I found some ways in which this applies to a lot of situations. I understood the point, but then I hit a roadblock. Like mentioned, when considering those who have been in a narcissistic, abusive relationship. I've heard this line been used before, but when they say it, it's in a condescending tone, saying everything that hints that whatever happened was deserved. And for some reason, in some way, they should have known better. Or if they were able to love this person and attract them into your life, what does that imply about the person themselves? The most obvious discrepancy when applying this mirrored philosophy is when you're comparing, really criticizing one person who is too nice and loving with absolutely no conditions. But a person who does not know how to identify red flags and has poor boundaries is entirely different from someone who harms your well-being, degrades your self-worth, dismisses your feelings, deteriorates your mental, emotional, physical, material, spiritual health, exhibits possession, exerts control, and distorts your reality through lies and manipulation. When I was thinking about the situation, I was driving in the car, I thought about a lover, I thought about a narcissist, I thought about her telling the story to somebody else, and I thought about them judging her. And I saw this girl, she was just surrounded by a crowd of people. They were yelling at her, they were saying like, oh, you should have done better, oh, you should have known, like, how could you let yourself be in this situation, and you're the one that, whatever the fuck. And then I instantly started thinking about lines to defend this girl. Like, why are you punishing her for loving with no conditions? Why are you punishing her for believing the words of somebody that she loves? And this is the part that I'm fucking mad at. When you hear people say what you recognize in other people is what you recognize in yourself, you attract the people that mirror something within yourself. So when you attract these people in your life, it is what you deserve. That is what aligns to you. That is not fucking true. And I have used this line against me so many fucking times, and I have accepted it when other people have told me like, you should have known. Why didn't you walk away? Why didn't you do something? Why didn't you say something? And I'm like, bro, it wasn't that fucking easy. It really wasn't that fucking easy to leave the people that you love most. It takes intelligence to recognize when a person is intentionally abusive, misusing and distorting your free will. It takes a lot of intelligence to trust your feelings more than you trust what you are seeing. What I saw was somebody that was telling me, I love you, I want to marry you, I choose you, you're my forever, I want to be here. And I went through a lot of my life just blaming myself for being in that situation in the first place. Applying a future knowledge to the past, a past that I can't change. It was very hard for me to write all of this. This is something that I never thought that I would ever speak about. I'm pretty personal, I feel like. I'm pretty personal everywhere, and it's... This was the one area in my life that I didn't want to describe when I am experiencing a relationship with a narcissist, because people know people. For some, it's very obvious who this person was. So I was trying to like protect them in a way, but fuck that. Me trying to save face, me trying to find love and light first, me trying to go towards understanding and compassion. Yes, that is the end goal. But I missed a whole step when I got angry. I didn't allow myself to be angry because I did not want to allow myself to be toxic, but that was already the first mistake. Viewing anger as something that is toxic. I know that before, in the past, and I'm talking to Christina at this point, we've experienced a lot of hurt, we've experienced a lot of pain, we have experienced a lot of trauma and torment because of someone else's anger. But there is a healthy way to express anger. And just because you have never seen it done by the people that you love the most, trusted the most, doesn't mean that you cannot exhibit healthy anger. I can't be stoic forever. I can't be a robot forever. I have feelings. I have emotions. You are allowed to be fucking hurt when you are hurt from the people that have hurt you. You are allowed to experience pain when you have somebody that keeps promising you a future that's not true, that is not real. And I'm tired of having this situation affect me, and I'm tired of having to think about this person, but I haven't healed. If I never had this talk, and if I never allowed myself to rant, and if I never allowed myself to be angry, then I would never get over it. Yeah. I think all I needed to hear was like, I didn't fucking deserve it. I want to be open with who I am without having to think that I need to protect myself. I'm a good person and I'm allowed to love and I'm allowed to be soft. All right, so I'm editing my video right now. There is no transition to this part of the video of what the fuck is happening. So I just have to explain to you guys that whatever the fuck is happening right now in this portion of the video, it's just me channeling knowledge from the universe, me thinking out loud. And that is what is going on right here. I'm just thinking out loud, okay? Thanks. The need for protection is the fear of vulnerability. If you feel like you need to protect yourself, it's saying something within yourself where you don't feel strong, where you feel like there is a weak point. So the sense of protection is rooted within fear. The sense of protection is rooted within the dream of separation. This is why the ego is strong. The ego is strong when there is a lot of fear. You only fear what you don't know. And the only way to conquer that fear is when you face it head on. When you're able to stand and see fear in the face and understand where it's coming from. That is the ego. The ego aims to protect. The ego aims to provide a sense of safety, a defense mechanism. It's not just about comfortability. The ego really does work to protect. I'm allowed to be judgmental. I am allowed to be critical. I am allowed to be analytical. I am allowed to be logical because that was my sense of safety, security, protection towards the world. And why did I act like that? I acted like that because I have experienced true shame and humiliation. And my ego knows how terrible that feels, how much pain and exhaustion that has brought. And so it decides to build these barriers in order to protect me from feeling that way ever again, to protect myself from feeling shameful, from feeling humiliated. The shame and humiliation came from the first time that I have ever felt trauma. This was the way that I have learned to grow. This was the way that I have learned. This was the first way that I learned something. Like when I was a child. The first time that I've ever experienced trauma, the feelings that came with it was shame and humiliation. I feel like that's also why I talk to myself like this, where I'm so judgmental and I'm so critical because I don't want to have to experience that kind of pain ever again. And also, it's like the first trauma that I ever experienced was something in my childhood. And when you have something that's developed in your childhood and you carry it all the way now when you're fucking 22 years old, how strong do you think that barrier is? How strong do you think that programming is? I have to be kind and I have to be gentle. And I know that I don't want to be judgmental and I know that I don't want to be so harsh. But why was I harsh in the first place? Why was I judgmental in the first place? For protection. I hope that made sense. That was a whole fucking like self-actualization moment in my fucking consciousness. So I wrote this the other day, but I didn't really know what it meant. Like I couldn't say it into words, and even though I wrote it down, it's like these ideas didn't make sense to me. But this is what I wrote. I realized that my way of learning previously was based off of embarrassment or humiliation. That was the E word. Just judging the fuck out of myself, being loud with my demands for better. I didn't learn about a healthy kind of reinforcement, and only now when I'm an adult am I able to be consciously aware of my habits and reparent myself. I was writing to myself the other day that at this point, when am I going to accept that my need for perfectionism is unnecessary? My need for control only leads to disappointment. No matter how much I try to prepare myself, when heartbreak and hurt presents itself, it's there. There's nothing I can do to avoid it. All I can do is to make sure my foundation for myself is peace. It doesn't matter what is going on externally as long as internally I'm stable. I thought that if I was so hard, so emotionless, so detached, it would make me strong, indestructible to misery. But I was so strong that I broke myself down. The core of my soul was completely silenced. It felt like my humanity was ripped from me and I could not enjoy life as much as I tried because I built myself to be like such a fucking robot. To tie back to the beginning is the line where peace isn't the absence of hate, but the presence of love. You just gotta be compassionate and take accountability. I wanted to turn to love and light when thinking about this narcissistic relationship and just being like offering understanding, offering compassion, but I didn't allow myself to be angry. And I didn't realize that I wasn't going to find the solution without anger. Peace wasn't going to be found without hate. Peace is the presence of love. Yes, it's offering them love and understanding, but it's offering them accountability as well. I didn't deserve to be manipulated. I didn't deserve to have my reality taken away from me. I didn't deserve not to have the truth. I didn't deserve the ability to not be able to perceive my reality. That was distorting my perception, taking away my free will, taking away my ability to choose, to make a choice. I wrote this on February 8th. Today is February 10th. This always fucking happens. Like, when I write something, I don't think that it's good. I hate it. But maybe I should recognize that that's maybe my ego, who's like, oh no, she realizes something and she might be taking away this protection, but I don't know how she's gonna handle it afterwards if she's gonna be able to protect herself without me, without needing this fucking fear. Are you going to be okay if we take away this fear? Are you going to be able to handle the things that come your way when you don't first protect yourself? Yes, we want you to be vulnerable. Yes, we want you to be loving. Yes, we want you to be compassionate. But can you do this by yourself? Can we trust you to have the fullness of your perception, the fullness of your reality, and still be yourself? My ego was trying to do everything that it can to preserve me. Like, it didn't want me to hate, and it didn't want me to be angry, and it didn't want me to break down. My ego wanted me to live. My ego wanted me to keep going. But could I keep going without fear pushing me forward, providing me that foundation to stand on? It was underdeveloped though. If it isn't fear that's protecting you, then what will? You didn't believe in the universe enough. You didn't want to turn to love. You didn't want to trust. You didn't want to give. You didn't want to ask for help. Demonizing the ego. The ego tries to help you navigate this real world, this 3D, 4D dimension. There is a lot of pain. There is a lot of heartbreak. There are a lot of things that will kill your spirit. And I feel like if I just didn't have that piece of understanding, that I would not have been able to be unconditionally loving, to tap into source love. Like, I needed to learn what it meant to have boundaries. I needed to learn how to develop my discernment. Only then could I be reintroduced to this idea of love. Fear matters because there is something worth protecting. And what is worth protecting is me. I think my videos are really rare. I've never said that before, but I believe my videos are rare. I think that I'm unique. I think that the way that I speak, the messages that I share, the way that I flow, it is unique and it is rare. It is worth watching. Yes, there are a lot of things to learn, but also it's just comforting to see a person that is just naturally learning. I know for me, the way that I like to learn is seeing the process. You know, it's so funny. That is ironic. The way that I learn is I like to see the process. So what's my ego doing? Being scared of the process. Okay, wow. All right, I love you guys. I hope that you guys have a great time, day, night, evening, whenever, wherever you're watching this. I hope that you choose love. I hope that you choose light. I hope that you choose the dark. I hope you choose subconscious. I hope you choose understanding, compassion, accountability. Goodbye, guys. What should my thumbnail look like? Just kidding. Oh, okay. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.